Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi. I've been telling people for years and years and years. I've been telling for the sisters that actually love good brothers. I've been telling you. For the brothers, I've been telling you. Wasn't really trying to be funny. I was trying to educate, spiritually educate you. My channels kept getting taken down. And we all know that in most cases it was the BFEM, the BAW. But many so-called black men colluded with them. Not the brothers, there's a difference. Not the sisters, there's a difference. All right. While I do feel that there are sisters out there, I am definitely done with the black female. I don't think there is any hope left for the Afro male to deal with the black female. If you don't already have a sister, and understand this, there's a difference between a wife and somebody you married. Most people are marrying black females and not wives. And they are utterly destroying the brothers that are marrying them. You shouldn't get married. If you've not been in a long-term relationship, you shouldn't be married. Period. You shouldn't get married. Period. These Bfems mean as nothing but wickedness and evil. There's something that all these pictures have in common. All right. There's something that they've all had in common. My channel has talked about this from its inception. Period. There is, in all of these cases, this case is the culmination of the program of the Caucasian system to utterly destroy the Afro man. Oh, no, not the thug, not the Pookies and Ray Rays. No. They get marched for, and the Bfems procreate with the Pookies and Ray Ray to make sure that there would be enough bodies for them to put back on the plantation. Only the plantation now is the prison industrial complex. But those that are wise and smart enough and business minded, those Afro males, they destroy them. They will silence the females, but they understand the females will get support. The female witness in this case, she has a GoFundMe that was started by other black women. She's on a lot of people's shows. All right, so she's getting support. Who didn't get support is the brothers. The brothers didn't even get support from other brothers. The brothers got assassinated. I want y'all to understand this. Let me greet everybody real quick. Hoort hardu gudag. Ola oi to the bay. Vasas los bonjour mes amis. Kedu bawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama. Sani bonani. Jampo baragani. Assalamu alaikum and shalom. I kept telling y'all this, that this was the case. I kept telling y'all. Out of habit, y'all know what to do. let's skip this for now. What does all these have in common? This comment, I thought about this. All these have this in common. Caucasian worship first and no justice, honor, or love for the good Afro man. The Caucasians you see pictured promote the worship and the no justice, honor, or love for the good Afro man. The Caucasians believe that they could speak on behalf of dead people that they were neither friends with or even knew because they feel like they have that authority. We'll get into that in a minute. The rest is the mammy. I want to replace the black man culture of the black woman. Yes, with the degree and without the degree. It doesn't matter. Because the last thing they think about is the good Afro man. That is the very last thing they think about is the good Afro man. I want y'all to understand something. Botham John was not a man that had a wife or a girlfriend living with him. See, that's only reserved for thugs and pookies and ray rays in them. If you're a good working man with some kind of spirituality, nah, these Bfems don't want nothing to do with you. When you go to trial, everybody cries for the Caucasian woman that just murdered you. All right? I mean, let's recap and look at why I'm just done. I don't have any, not only is it these Bfems, but it's these Negroes that have been worshiping their coochie for such a long time that made all this possible. This is brought to you. How this murder trial ended is brought to you by all the simps that jumped on the bandwagon of the Bfems coochie to try to silence brothers like me that tell you that this is the mentality that has been promoted, fostered, and caused the growth among the black women in the United States towards the Afro man, where he, the good one, no longer matters, and there will not be no justice, honor, or love for him if he's dealing with these women, because these women worship the murderer, or they worship the murderer's false god that the people of the murderer propagated and created to get the Bfem to follow and teach her sons and weak-minded men. And I'm talking about spiritually weak, where the mom, the good old mom, the mammy culture, is out front all the time and not the husband. Where the males are trained to stand behind the strong black woman, which is why the strong, hardworking Christian black man was able to be shot in his house while sitting on the couch eating some ice cream by a Caucasian female police officer that everybody is crying for because they feel so bad that the law says they have to put her in jail. They don't feel bad for the guy that was murdered. I want y'all to think about that. Another important element in this case. The other brother, an entrepreneur, not affiliated with any gangs. I want y'all to understand this. A witness murdered. A witness murdered. Because, I don't know, he found something was that he thought there was something wrong with somebody taking another Afro man's life while he's sitting on his own couch in his own damn house eating some ice cream. That a police officer is able to ignore everything, walk into somebody else's house and just shoot him dead. And because a police officer does it, you know, parts of Dallas society is really jacked up that this police officer received some justice and was put to justice for taking oh yeah, I forgot. She took the life of an Afro man that was a good dude. And you still going to have these black fools running around wearing Jerry Jones cowboy stuff, making football the highest grossing sport for owners, while at the same time making it the least paying sport for the athletes that play it. Oh yeah, and the athletes that play football, they don't get to play for a very long time. Nope. Oh, they don't even get to show their faces by football rules. However, you know what? These people running around, oh, we're upset that she did, and look at all this stuff going on in the court. Hey, y'all going to see the Dallas game? Mama, come on. That's the other reason why there's no respect. Because most of those Dallas fans right now are the same Afro men that can now be sitting in their house and be shot by the police as a working man while eating ice cream, and nobody will give them justice because they will have more concern for how the police officer feels for murdering you in your own house when you've done nothing than the Afro man. And not just because it's a police officer. Had she just been a regular white woman, I believe it's the same sentiments. The trial went the whole. See, what makes it worse, what makes this worse, is she is a police officer and she's trained to recognize all these things as clues. All right. Don't know what else to say about that. Again, the breakdown.
The murder trial followed by millions across the country. Two jurors breaking their silence about the sentence given to former Dallas
And listen to this BS coming out of these two jurors.
Police officer Amber Guyger for shooting and killing a man in his own apartment. And we're now hearing from the victim's brother. ABC's Marcus Moore is in Dallas tonight.
Two of the jurors who convicted former Dallas police officer Amber Guyger of murder tonight taking us.
And she still got tears in her eyes for having to convict a Caucasian woman for murdering an Afro man. She feel more sorry for the murderer than the brother that, and you wouldn't even know that the brother that was killed was a good dude by all these tears.
Into that jury room.
There was a lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
Prosecutors were asking for 28 years. You all landed at 10.
I told everyone because we all agree that it was a mistake, and I don't think Bo would want to take harsh vengeance. I think he would want to forgive her.
Understand this. He, the Caucasian man, told everyone that he, a Caucasian man that never spent a day or a minute with so-called Bo, so they're on first name basis after he's dead. He never spent a minute with him, but he knows what he would think about somebody shooting him. I mean, I'm a pretty good dude. I'm good with children. But like I said in my other video, if you hit me, my whole continence of what I believe should happen after you strike me in the face changes. With the children, I have long-suffering patience and stuff because, you know, I'm going across to other countries giving these soccer balls to children, and some of the times they're impatient and irk my nerves and stuff, but they're children, so you understand. So just because I have patience and long sufferings for that, don't mean that if somebody comes up and clock me, I'm not going to do something to them. I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to protect myself and believe that I have a right to justice and to protect myself. So how is somebody that don't know me going to tell me what I would do in a situation that's out of the norm? Understand this. Understand the authority that he said that with, that he felt like he had the right to understand what this man would think and say and do and feel without knowing him, without spending a day in his life, without spending a minute in his life. But his family did him in, though. His mama did him in. And how his mama did him in is she taught him this Christian religion that caused his brother to hug a murderer, a brother who wanted justice, but wasn't going to be able to get it because of what he was taught by his mama, the mammy system. Yeah, you always hug people that do evil to you. The brother wanted justice.
Guyger shot and killed 26-year-old Bfems-No when she entered his apartment mistaking it for hers.
You can't compare this case to any of those other officers killing unarmed black men. Those officers that...
Unarmed black men. Hold on. At least the unarmed black men were in the street and the officers had kind of a reason to be there. Right? This woman had no reason to be in this man's house. And, well, yeah, yep. There is a difference because she said unarmed black men in the streets. Understand, these unarmed black men that she would march for is Pookie's and Ray Ray. So she weren't crying for them officers that off the Pookie and Ray Ray. She's crying for this officer that apparently busted into this man's house while he was sitting on his house armed with some ice cream watching TV. You know, because he's Charles Xavier of the X-Men and he might disarm her with his mind. I don't know. Apparently she thought that this man eating a bowl of ice cream, both hands occupied when you're eating a bowl of ice cream, sitting on his house couch, was somehow armed with something that makes this, oh Lord, I can't even make, Lord.
Kill unarmed black men. When they got out, they went back to living their lives. Amber Guyger, she showed remorse and that she's gonna have to deal with that for the rest of her life.
Understand this statement. Showed remorse. Wrong. She's in trial to say, she's at trial to say, I need to get off because I'm not guilty. Period. That's a life, but who cares? Remorse? Nah, no remorse. All right. The judge gave these two orders. This was from a report. Tammy Kemp ruled that the jury should consider the castle doctrine. The castle doctrine is Texas' version of stand your ground. Understand this. The judge, the mammy judge, also a Christian. So the brothers ain't going to get no, I mean, when we look at this woman, she looks like the Jesus that these mammies are worshiping. So, you know, you got to give all the forgiveness that you can get for this woman. Had it been a black dude, oh man, his butt would have been, nope, none of these orders would have been given. She could consider the castle doctrine, right? That's like stand your ground. The judge also was given another out, and that was that the prosecution had to, these are two things that the prosecution had, two more things that the prosecution had to argue against, because this is really an open and shut case if you don't have these two things in here. That she went in, murdered somebody, give her more than 10 years, bam. But the mistake of fact says that could a reasonable person make a mistake of going all the way up to somebody else's house, thinking that they're in their house, and shooting them because they are a Christian man sitting on a couch just after, you know, doing what most people do after work and eating some ice cream because you're hungry after most of these people in, I guess, D-Town and the neighbor do after work. They sit down, do their thing, and then they hungry, so he eats some ice cream. A mistake of fact. I want y'all to understand this. These are the two outs that was given. This is why again, a recap. This is why this dude hugged this woman.
Who am I to not forgive someone who asked? I waited.
His mama taught him that. Remember, this guy is 18. His mother indoctrinated him in the church. His father follows his mom in a good old Christian fashion of flipping the roles of the head of house. I want y'all to understand that.
1 year to hear I'm sorry, and I'm grateful for that.
And at trial, Guyger acknowledged that she intended to kill Jean. The jurors telling me that's all they needed to hear to find her guilty of murder.
Now, at trial, she intended to kill Jean, right? But I want you to understand this, right? The jury's saying they're going off of him hugging that woman, which should not also have been allowed by the judge in court. Look at this mammy doctrine taking place. These are Christian women and other women that's worshiping this Caucasian women, stroking her hair and stuff. There is no way any Afro man can get justice from anything where a black woman is involved. That's what this case shows you. That should be a concern. When a brother walks into a courtroom, sees black women on the jury, see a black woman judge, see black woman police officers, oh, he has something to worry about. That's what this case shows you. This case also shows you that everybody pretty much forgot about the dude that was murdered and was more worried about the murderer. No love, no respect, no honor, no justice. Back to the juror. And the stuff that she said. This dude, that woman said she intended to murder this man. That juror said this case is different. It is different. Because this is a man that wasn't doing anything. He wasn't outside. This is a man that was a pillar of the community, albeit a religious one. All right. To the Caucasian man, this dude wanted justice. He hugged that woman because his mama taught him that's what you do. You hug them, you forgive them, but you want justice. But now, because you forgive them, if it's a white person, then you're not supposed to get justice because it's thrown into the sea of forgetfulness. That's what black people are taught. White people aren't taught that. They're taught, get justice and forgive them after they do their time. Nope, not in our culture. Oh, yeah, that's because our culture is led by the black woman. Everything is being led by. So let's talk about this remorse that Amber Guyger showed. She only apologized a year after killing this man, and she was defiant the whole time. So where was this so-called famous remorse? Oh, and let's not forget who's running all this mess. Sister Gangsta Cop. All right. And then on top of that, you have the Christian mammy who's leading the home instead of the man. So that's why you don't have justice. And then this pathetic show of whatever this is. All right, pathetic. Again, everybody is giving her the benefit of the doubt. As this woman can't help but just stroke that golden hair that she wished she had because this is who they worship. That's why this guy couldn't get justice. If you look at this woman's face, that's why she's doing it with confidence. She looked happy she did this. Everybody forgets that that dude is dead. And this woman at this point is pretty much understanding, you know what? I'm going to get away with this. She's sorry she got the 10 years, but that's light because she knows she's not going to do all 10 of those years. But that's how pathetic this system is. Why? Because the Afro man don't get no love or justice. Oh, who's running this insane asylum? Yep, you got it. Right here. She's doing exactly what she was put in place to do. Cover-ups. All right? Because she's been so good at improving the livelihood of the community in Detroit. Oh, that was a failure, an abysmal failure. Okay, so what I outlined for you is some of the main reasons that we'll never get any justice here. Because the system made sure to put our main adversary in charge of the system because nobody is more harsh to the Afro male than this woman that you're looking at right here. This so-called melanated woman. Oh no, she's not a sister. I know some sisters. One is an avid supporter of this channel. That's why I make sure she gets something every time I come back from somewhere. If she was to call me and say, look, I need you brothers, there's a bunch of us brothers that would go up to South Carolina right in lickety split to help this sister out. But that's rare to find somebody like that. Brothers, we better watch our back and who we calling sisters, because most of these black women are not our sisters. They work for our adversary to keep us oppressed. With that said, I'm out.